have compromised and brought to a permanent end Osama bin Frank. Ladies and gentlemen, I have woken up to some of the best news in a long time. I am excited today. I am energized today. I feel refreshed. I feel recharged. There was me slumbering away in the afternoon, not realizing the glorious news that had hit the world this morning. And then I woke up to 47 calls, 57 tweets, 49 DMs. And I said, what's happening in the world today? What could possibly be going wrong? And let me read out the club statement, shall I? The club has taken a decision to make a change in the men's head coaching position, and Thomas Frank will leave today. Thomas was appointed in June 2025, and we have been determined to give him the time and support needed to build for a future together. However, results and performances have led the board to conclude that a change at this point in the season is necessary. Throughout his time as the club, Thomas has conducted himself with unwavering commitment, giving everything in his efforts to move the club forward. We would like to thank him for his contribution and wish him every success in the future. Sir Thomas Frank. Thank you for your services, sir. But it is no longer needed. This is the news we have been waiting for, and you can only hope that it is better late than never. Because honestly, after last night, there is no way this news couldn't come out today. There is no way, honestly. The way this season has gone, the way the last few months have gone, the way the last few weeks have gone, this has been in the making. There's no way to hide from it, honestly. And I felt like if they didn't take it at this point, the board themselves would be in big trouble. Because the neglect that they've let go on for months on end. I felt like you had 4 or 5 opportunities, I said last night, that you could have had to sack him. Whether it was before January, before the Liverpool game, before the Sunderland game, before Aston Villa. Like, there were so many opportunities after the North London derby. And you turned your nose up against all of them. And now we sit up 5 points above the relegation zone. Transfer window closed. 11, 12 players out injured. And now is the time you've decided to make the decision. Better late than never. Because now it makes me think, you know what? At least we can save the season. At least we can try and stay in the Premier League this year. You know what the target is going to be from now till the end of the season? Get me my 40 points. We're currently on 29, right? 11 more points for safety. That's all I'm looking for. Let's bring back a good positive atmosphere at the stadium. Let's bring back a good positive atmosphere in the dressing room. Can we maybe plant the seeds to play some good football? Can we maybe learn how to defend a little bit? Could we sneak something in the Champions League? There's so many questions unanswered, and I hope that we will start seeing the answers to at some point this season. But this news today, this is going to give me the next 24 to 48 hours of just bouncing with excitement, I'll be honest with you. As much as this season has not been a great season, this is a moment I've been waiting for. Because what we've had to deal with this year, an indecisive board, a manager that's out of depth, a captain that's out of control, and a squad that looks like it doesn't have the quality this year. But I always kept looking at it and thinking, this squad isn't as bad as it's supposed to be. I know last year we always talk about Ange, how, you know, he kind of threw in the towel at the end of the season. That's why we ended up 17th, but at least we left with the Europa League. Coming into this year, there was no way I thought we were going to be languishing mid-table, hovering above relegation zones. Freak injury season or not, there is still enough talent in that team to be playing better, to be performing better. And I'm sorry, Thomas Frank, if there is one thing you showed is how far out your depth you are with this job. And I fear for him. Similar like Ange Postecoglou. They both came in with glowing reputations, with the work that they've done at their previous club. solid bits of work. Ange winning multiple titles. Thomas Frank, 8 years at Brentford, getting them promoted, getting them to be a secure mid-table club. But I've noticed, and I've said it over the last couple of weeks, guys at Brentford, guys at Brighton, don't judge them. Judge them when they leave. That's really, because that is an incubator of a club. Brentford, Brighton. They will give you the platform. They will give you the tools. They will give you the data. They will give you the players to make sure you can do your job properly. However, at another club, you might not have that same structure. You might have more pressure on you. You might have to get more creative tactically. You might have to assert yourself more on the squad. Thomas Frank had none of those things. Couldn't assert his presence on the team, in my opinion. Didn't tactically show anywhere near the flexibility that I expected. And I'm sorry, the football that we played was some of the worst football that I've seen over the last 20, 25 years, easily. So for me, Thomas Frank, honestly, the next job he takes, take your time, brother. Don't rush. Because right now, your name is in tatters, and in my opinion, rightly so. Because where this was supposed to be a natural next progression, where Tottenham is not the biggest of the big six, if you like. We're the club that's always trying to establish ourselves at that table. And we thought, you know what, let's get a manager who, in the same mold of Pochettino, in the same mold of Ange Postecoglou, let's get someone who marries up well and can take us that next step. And this marriage is a marriage from hell, is all I can tell you, brother. This was not yin and yang. This was yin and smelly tang. Honestly, it's... Listen, it's a weight lifted off my shoulder today, honestly. It's a weight. Like, I haven't even had my morning coffee yet. I know it's like 2 in the afternoon, but listen, man, I had a late night last night. I was doing a lot of busy planning and scheduling, you know what I mean? But this is completely thrown a spanner in the works. But honestly, I'm over the moon because the North London derby coming up next as well. I felt like if we went into that game with Thomas Frank, we are walking towards our death. This is going to be an annihilation. And I'm so glad that now there is a chance, a hope that maybe in that game we can have a little bit of a new manager bounce. Players can play with a little bit of the shackles off. And now we can go into the rest of the season thinking, do you know what can we build? This season has now been a write-off. I'm sorry. This season is completely and utterly a write-off. Whoever comes in now from now till the end of the season, you basically have a free license to just get this club in a positive place again. There is no expectations, there is no pressure, there is no nothing. Now the plan is, what are you going to do and put in place till the end of the season to make sure next season does not happen? Because I'm sorry, we've had back-to-back seasons with the same narratives flowing through them. We can't have a third season like that. We cannot, honestly. But today is a day of celebration, man. I don't even want to think too far ahead. Today is just a day of... Finally. It's over. It's over. I don't have to live and deal with Thomas Frank anymore. No more fake smiling. No more, ha ha ha. Yes, guys, we were just difficult situation and unfortunate. Kick rocks, my dude. It's time we move forward. And hopefully, listen, I'm curious to hear the names. There's so many names. Of course, everyone's going to talk about the return of Poch. Some people are talking about Maresca. Some people are talking about Alonso. Some people are talking about De Zerbi, who just got sacked from Marseille as well. So the talks are apparently Heitinger could be in place, which kind of makes sense that he was brought in as an assistant manager to Thomas Frank midway through the season. I was like, is this a backup plan to potentially maybe, if they do sack him, they can just give it Heitinger till the end of the season. But Heitinger's managerial spells haven't, flattered to the sieve, should we say. So let's hope that he can kind of maybe stabilize the ship a little bit. If not, I'm curious to see who else does come in. But listen, another one little bit of injury news I want to touch on as well. I think Wilson Odobert this morning, it was reported that he could be out with an ACL, which honestly I think is a bitter blow for the kid, because so his left ACL, he's torn it basically and will be out for a number of months now, which is a shame because I felt like he was really, really playing well and coming into himself this season. You were starting to see him growing confidence game by game, week by week. I know he spoke about how much he plays with anxiety, but he's really shown his confidence and really shown some ability. And the fact that he can play a part in this team, maybe, he needs to work on his numbers. There's ways to improve. And I think the coaching will definitely play a factor into that, depending on who we get next. But a very exciting talent. It's a real shame for him because I felt like this was a season of emergence for him in the Tottenham team. But let's hope he can bounce back from this knee, because now this is an injury list that is just racking up week after week, month after month. It seems like there's no rest for the wicked, honestly. From Kudus to Kulusevski to Madison to Dragusin to you name it, Pedro Porro. We've got players dropping like flies left, right, and centre at the moment. So at the moment, honestly, we need to try and hold on to as many players as we can just to keep them fit. See if we can even get an 11 out there. But hopefully, this new person coming in can also just give the youngsters a few minutes as well, because there's no point having all these kids on the bench if you're not going to give them 5, 10, 15 minutes just to get that experience. Luca Williams-Barnett, I'm sorry, he is one of the most exciting talents to come out of the academy. Why he has played so little this season, despite being named on the bench 7 or 8 times. Use these youngsters. Byfield, I love the fact that he's come in the last couple of weeks. Play him more. Melia, that you signed from League of Ireland, is it? Play him. Like, at the end of this point, at the end of this season now, we're just experimenting. We're just trying to get the 40 points and trying to play good football. Guess what? Give me some youngster minutes within that as well. So, listen. There's going to be a lot of names floating around. I'll do another video today or tomorrow, just kind of really looking at what our options will be as well. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Who are some of the managers that you want coming in? And listen, let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. I'm sure today a lot of you will have a lot to say about Thomas Frank. So get involved in the conversation. I will catch you guys on the next one. Like the video as always. I see we're just about to hit 18,000 as well. Appreciate every single one of you who has been supporting this channel. I've tried my best to be consistent this year. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it just as much as I have. And I will catch you guys on the next one, peeps. Till next time, take care, folks.